Welcome back to Chicago and day one of pool play here at the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament. It's the Chicago Cubs Nike RBI side to open things up against the Chicago White Sox Nike RBI team. First of 4 games on the docket here on the Windy City Sports Network 2 from Curtis Granderson Stadium as we get the ball rolling in the senior baseball division. Kevin Later here with James Winkin. James, this White Sox Nike RBI team 2 years ago won this regional, ended up going all the way to win the World Series. Last year they fell in the regional final to Cincinnati. How do they get back to coming on top of the Central Regional this year?
Yeah, in order to get back and bounce back from losing that unfortunate events to the Cincinnati Reds RBI team last year, they have to get back at it, try and push that run differential as well. Will help them, especially within pool play, as well as definitely a lot of ground balls. Defense, of course, is going to be their key factor, and trying to go with the long ball, kind of like what we saw in that home run derby as well.
Yeah, and for a Cubs team, they believe with the new format of how this region works, they believe this is one of their best shots to win this regional tournament. It's game 1 for them. What's a good early sign for them on this game today?
Yeah, good early sign for them on this game today, I would say, is definitely going to be their pitching, going to be hopefully that defense that holds the Sox team. They came out kind of weak against that Sox team last year. They lost to them in their last game to clinch in to play the Cincinnati Reds. So we'll see how they do this upcoming game.
First of 4 on the day. It's the Crosstown Classic as we get rolling here. We'll be right back with first pitch on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Welcome back inside Curtis Granderson Stadium. And here we go. The White Sox are the road team for this game. And first pitch swinging is Kamari Thomas in the gap to right center field. That's all the way down to the base of the wall. How about this start for White Sox Nike RBI? Thomas on his way for third. And he's going to slide in there with a first pitch leadoff triple.
What an amazing swing just right off the bat of Thomas right there. He's able to get into third safely and soundly. And that's the start that you need for the White Sox. Going up, you're swinging at that first pitch.
Thomas, a returner from last year's team. It's a team that's out for vengeance this season after getting to the RBI World Series, but getting in off a technicality because of the format. They got in as the non-regional winner. So now here's Jonah Weathers, another veteran on this team. Cuts and misses at a fastball there from Jaden Rivera for strike 1. Top of the first, no score, runner on third. White Sox Nike RBI knocking on the doorstep here early. Rivera working out of the windup, the 0-1. Oh, that one hits him in the head, and they're on the corners now.
And we're glad that he's okay there. Hits him just directly in the dome. Thankfully, that's why we wear helmets.
Exactly, that's why they added that for sure. So now, with no one out and the runners on the corners, in steps Demir Heidelberg, the right fielder, another guy they talked about as a pick to click for them in this weekend's tournament.
You know, what I like about the Sox right now is that they're just coming up and they're swinging. They're attacking first pitch fastballs. As you see, that's the third one that they've attacked. Each batter has just swung at that first pitch. And they're swinging for the fences right now.
Fair out of the stretch, runner goes for second. Pitch is called for a strike. Throw down his second is cut off by the shortstop Rodriguez. And it's a stolen base for Jonah Weathers.
Great base running by Weathers there. He's able to just go in. Now there's runners in both scoring positions. Demir looks to do a lot of damage here.
Lays off that one high. It's actually called a ball on the pitch. Now the windup, the next offering. Swing and a miss. And it's 2-2. Slow curve, just missed high. White Sox Nike RBI in last year's Central Regional Tournament, 2-2-1 record. These two teams played in the opening game of the tournament and tied in a 9-inning affair. Heidelberg stays alive and puts it out of play behind home. Sox were up 1-0. Cubs tied it. Sox took a 2-1 lead. Cubs tied it, and they remained tied through 9 innings of play before the time limit reached.
Yeah, it's very interesting how that first game matched up, but this one coming up, the Sox definitely seem to be very much so aggressive.
Strike 3 swinging there on Heidelberg. Good at bat for him. So now here's their home run derby participant, Jimmy Downs.
Yeah, we saw him last night, actually. He was such a good power source. He was able to just keep the ball on all sides of the field.
On the ground, left side, they're going to come home with it. Throw to the plate, not in time. Thomas slides underneath the tag of Diaz, and the White Sox strike first. It's 1-0.
And some situational baseball right there, some fielder's choice. You know, you got to go with that gut feeling and try to get your second out at home, but unfortunately, Sox are able to just slide under that tag and just score on safely.
So now with the runner in, Downs gets an RBI single out of it. And here's Angel Castro. He's the catcher today for the White Sox Nike RBI team. And he takes a slow curve for a strike.
And I think that's the first batter that we've seen today so far from the White Sox take that first pitch strike.
They're going to be aggressive. They talked about that coming in. And so far, they've done just that. One ball, one strike, one away. Rivera working out of the stretch here. I think Downs will be running here shortly. Strike 2 there.
Yeah, with situational baseball, you're always going to want that person at first to always try and squeeze in and steal that second base, because you have those runners on the corners there.
Big cut there for strike 3. Another good curveball there from Rivera, and there's 2 gone.
Rivera hoping to make sure that he only has 1 given up on the scoreboard and able to throw a clean slate for this batter and the next upcoming innings that he faces.
Philip Thigpen steps on in. He's playing third base today for this side. Plays off that one. They talked about coming in their big focus for their junior team, who's won the last 2 Central Regional titles, and their senior team, who won 2 years ago, the first years in Chicago, and was the runner-up last year, got to Florida, about staying grounded and just focusing on 1 pitch at a time.
Yeah, and they've definitely focused on 1 pitch at a time, as you see, definitely focusing on that aggressive side, but trying to take their pitches as well here and there. We've seen a mix-up of just certain players being as aggressive as possible and others that kind of take that time and figure out which pitch is best.
Chopped left side. That's going to be touchdown foul there by Ike Direction at third. 2 balls, 1 strike. They're on the corners here for White Sox Nike RBI with 2 gone here in the first inning. As we open up this tournament here, final time it's in Chicago before a new city takes over as the host for the Central Regional Tournament. Slow curve backed up on him, and it's 3-1.
You know, with this 3-1 count, your eyes get a little bit wider, but you're also trying to make sure that you're not that last out. You have 2 outs on you, so you're trying to go and make some smart decisions here.
Up and tight, and that'll load the bases. So Thigpen works the 2-out walk. And Evian Rodriguez comes on up. Left-handed hitter.
Fastball's definitely been kind of all over the place for Rivera. The curveball definitely working for him in his favor, though, as this time has kept going on in the first.
That one gets away from Diaz. Runner coming home. Throw there. Tag. Got him. Heads up play by Diaz and Rivera as Weathers was trying to come home on the pass ball. He's cut down, and that will end the inning. So we play half the inning. The White Sox strike first. It's 1-0 here on Windy City Sports Network 2. Welcome back. 1-0 White Sox, bottom of the first. Here on the Winning City Sports Network 2, Kevin Malater, James Winkin, Tiger Deloney, the left fielder for the Cubs, steps on in, and Castillo's first offering is grounded back up the middle and through for a base hit. So in the first inning, both teams attacking first pitch, and first pitch hits for each of the Sox and the Cubs.
Yeah, both teams just woke up very aggressive today, and they were just able to just swing at those first pitches right down the middle. This one coming out to a single for the White Sox, that one coming out to a triple.
So now they'll bring up Jorge Matos Jr. He's playing center today for the Cubs, and he takes that one for a strike.
Castillo, I mean, very small database of how many pitches he's thrown. He's only thrown 2, but those past 2 that he's thrown just straight down the middle, really good strikes from him.
Yes. Time is called for an offensive meeting.
You kind of wonder what these coaches are saying in these kids' ears, if it's kind of just like being more aggressive or kind of taking that pitch. Of course, that small data that we're talking about, you kind of want to swing at that first pitch if Castillo throws it again.
Runner goes and it hits him. So the first 2 men are aboard here for the Cubs. They're loving that in that third base dugout.
Yeah, chirping the White Sox a little bit. Some friendly fire, of course. A little bit of that crosstown classic that we always love.
This is Sammy Castillo on the bump for the White Sox. And now Ike Direction stands on in. Tying run and scoring position here in the bottom of the first inning. In tight there for ball 1.
You know, with 0 outs right here, Direction probably going to be more aggressive on that baseball.
In the dirt, it gets away from Castro and caroms towards the first base dugout. Deloney will round third and will hold there. So now they're both in scoring position here for the Cubs. On a wild pitch. At least that's how I would think that would be ruled there.
Yeah, I would say that one right there is a wild pitch. I mean, it just crosses the catcher up a little bit and not able to secure it. So then we have players in both scoring positions now.
2-0 home. Tapped weakly to the right side. Ireland's only play is to first. He'll flip it there. In to score is Deloney, and the game is tied at 1. As that right there is the definition of team baseball for the Cubs Nike RBI team here in the first.
Yeah, definitely some team baseball there. I mean, Ike might be hitting himself a little bit because he probably wanted to crush the ball. I mean, if I was a baseball player, but I mean, now the score is all even, and that's the best thing that you can do as a baseball player right now is hit the ball and play.
So now that'll bring up Luke Yelich. He was the Cubs representative in the home run derby yesterday. Takes that one inside for a ball. 1-1 score, runner on third base. First of 4 games on the docket here from Curtis Granderson. Yelich goes up 2-0.
What I love about this Cubs offense right now is that they're taking their pitches. They're very selective on what to hit and what not to hit.
A team that went 1-2-1 in last year's regional. That's on the ground to the right side. Ireland again gobbles it up. This will bring in the second run and the go-ahead run. Luke Yelich with an RBI ground out to the right side, and it's 2-1 Cubs.
Some great situational baseball there. He's able to just hit the ball in play. Now the Cubs are in the driver's seat. Still very early on in the game, of course, but you just build off of that, some team baseball.
So with 2 gone, the base is empty. Here's Jaden Rivera. He's the pitcher trying to help himself out. He's off the breaking piece. It's a team, like I mentioned, 1-2-1. These 2 teams played twice in last year's tournament. Cut on and miss, strike 1. They played to open up the tournament, and then last year they did for the 4th game of pool play, it was a seeded matchup. Essentially, they would determine which, teams would go off in seeded pool play. Cubs and White Sox were seeded up against each other, and it became, based off how the tournament standings worked, a play-in game for the championship on Sunday morning, which the two teams played earlier on Sunday morning. Sox won that one 2-1, went to the final. Cubs tournament ended there. The 1-2 to Rivera, left side foul on the ground.
Yeah, and the Cubs this year, they're trying to get their get back. I mean, having that tie that first game and then losing in that second game gives you a sour taste as the year goes on. So building this team around and trying to make means of work, they're always trying to have that winning mentality and winning culture.
Just missed. Castillo and the White Sox infield thought they got it. They did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here in the bottom of the first. 2-1 the score, the pitch. In the dirt, and it's 3-2.
As we see a little bit of a Shoto shuffle. I like how lots of players have kind of been influenced by that.
In the air to deep center field. Thomas ranging back, squares up, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. But it's a good frame for Cubs Nike RBI. They come back and take a 2-1 lead. We've played one here on the Windy City Sports Network. Inside Curtis Granderson Stadium, 2-1 the score in favor of Cubs Nike RBI after an inning. Evian Rodriguez back to bat. He was at the plate when the runner was caught trying to steal home. He lifts the first pitch to left, Deloney charging, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Good catch by Deloney right there. And again, the Sox are just keeping up with that script book as always, just attacking that first pitch that we keep seeing.
So now Joey Ireland will come on up. He's playing second base today. He made a couple of good plays defensively, and he kind of had his hand forced there almost, you want to say. He didn't really have a chance to get either runner at the plate.
Yeah, no real reason to throw at the plate to just get those 2 easy outs right there. You kind of go at the plate there, you're kind of having a difficult time, and more of a more being at a risky pose of if that pitch doesn't get caught.
That's crushed to left field. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a foul ball. Ireland nearly tied up the game with that one.
Really good contact by Ireland. Unfortunately, just goes a little bit foul.
One. That one missed high. He's hung the last 2 breaking balls he's thrown.
Yeah, and as a pitcher, you don't really want to hang those breaking balls. I mean, it's very difficult, harder done than said, of course. But you gotta try and flip it around. Maybe throw in a fastball, a few there, then just switch it up.
Here's the 3-1. Cox back, throws a fastball, and he misses high out of the zone, and so it's a 1-out walk for Ireland. So with one gone, run on first. Here's to Marion Butler. He's the shortstop today. Speedster with a whole lot of power in that bat.
Yeah, and that's something you always love to see out of these kids. One that's a speedster and then also being so powerful. I mean, the dimensions here are very wide for the UIC baseball field, but if he's able to make contact of one, he could hit one inside the park.
Yeah, 330 to the foul poles, 374 to the power alleys, and it's 401 to dead center field here at Curtis Granderson Stadium. Time is called by the catcher, Diaz. No balls, 1 strike. Butler's the number 9 hole hitter, top of the order on deck, and Thomas, who tripled his last time up. Sox have a stolen base. It came from Jonah Weathers in the first. Ireland's lead is aggressive. They squared a bunt. He pops it up, and it's foul to the left of home.
I mean, as a speedster, of course, you want to get on base as any way possible. Bunting is definitely a great way that I think a lot of baseball players haven't really utilized as much. You do see it though in the lots of the college level and a bit of the high school level, but once you get to the major leagues, they're always digging that long ball.
Yeah, it's something that's been part of the game for some of the new 3 true outcomes. Walk high, it's usually walk, strikeout, home run. At that point, that's kind of what the advanced analytics have been saying. That's been a big discussion this year at Major League Baseball. High school, though, a whole lot of outcomes.
Oh, yeah, definitely a whole lot of outcomes in high school. I mean, anything and everything is possible in those aspects.
Runner on the move, pitch upstairs. Diaz's throw to second base is not in time. Ireland just squeaks under the tag of Rodriguez, but a beautiful throw there from behind the plate.
That was an amazing throw from behind the plate. Unfortunately, Ireland is just able to have a little bit more speed than usual and just sneak on by there.
It was close. That was really, really close.
It was a very close play. Maybe see a little bit of an instant replay later on, just for our sakes. See how close it really was.
Yeah, good curve, just missed high. That's one of those plays where you get to college and you get to Major League Baseball. That's a they're going to challenge that every day of the week and on Sunday as well.
Put on the good old headset. You know what I like about Major League Baseball with the umpires?
Flared in a short right center. Matos Jr. charges. It falls in front of him for a base hit. Ireland to third. Safe there. Heads up base running by Butler. No one was covering the bag, and he dives in a second with a double.
Amazing base running by Butler there. Coming back to what I was saying, though, as Butler was hitting that blooper into the center field gap area, I do like that the umpires have now the headsets on and that they're able to announce it kind of like the NFL.
I love that a lot. It's really cool. And then it also builds the drama then because they can play off the crowd as well, like we see in the NFL.
Yeah.
NHL does that as well too.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun.
I know NBA does it a little bit, but it's not as direct as the NFL does.
So the top of the order now, Thomas stands in. The corners will come in. Thomas tripled to right center field his last time up. Rivera's first offering. Lay up high. It was a first pitch fastball that Thomas just crushed.
Yeah, Thomas switching up his approach here. Usually he's going to swing at that first pitch, but this one he takes.
Only 1 out in the frame. That one misses away, and it's 2-0. And time is called, and out goes Kevin Garcia. He's the manager of this 18U Cubs Nike RBI team. And he talked about how fun this weekend is, and he understands that the RBI program is about so much more, and he does a great job, though, also finding that balance where he knows and understands that all his players want to do is go out there and win every ball game. Does a great job of it. He's out there with the rest of the infield and the battery. Sticky situation here. They're up by a run. A 2-ball count with only 1 out, and the top of the order up with 2 guys on.
Yeah, you're definitely wanting to, in this situation, have either a ground out. They score. White Sox will probably score 1 on that play, but definitely keep it out of the outfield as much as possible. because that could be some heavy damage. You don't want that crooked number to kind of creep up on you.
And it's the other thing is with Butler's great IQ out there at second base, depending on the situation, I mean, this could be an easy spot here where you could see Butler trying to go from second.
Yeah, and Butler has so much speed on the base pass. We already saw that with his situational baseball going what seemed to be for most players as a single. He turns it into the double.
So 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Make it 3 balls and 1 strike.
You know, in this count, you're definitely going to want to have your eyes.
Strike 2, and it's 3-2. Apologies for the brief technical difficulties. Kevin Malater, James Winkin here with you. Yeah, line to right, that's a base hit. In to score is Ireland. Butler on his heels around third. He will score. Kamari Thomas, a 2 RBI single, and it's 3-2. White Sox back on top.
And Thomas just keeps raking away. First off with the triple, now with a single there. I feel like he could have maybe squeezed on by to second, but I mean, it's great situational baseball there. Of course, you want to have that 1 out instead of 2.
Want to keep it going. That's up the middle and through past the diving Rodriguez to center field. Weathers has himself a hit. He's reached base safely in both his appearances as well.
Now back-to-back hits by both Sox players. They're 1 and 2 players up in the lineup. See if they just keep on going, just keep hitting right here.
So if 2 guys on, here's Demir Heidelberg, the right fielder. Heidelberg struck out swinging in the first. Opportunity to get some insurance here for the Sox. Runner on the move for third. That's Thomas. Throw down there is in time, and they got him. Great throw from Diaz, and there's 2 away.
Diaz has just been such a phenomenal catcher. I mean, his pop time is just amazing. He's able to just throw him out there, and then also in that first inning again, we're able to see that amazing play, his diving play just to get him out at home plate.
So with the runner on second, as Weathers was able to steal second successfully, that one is a hit back pitch. Heidelberg got grazed in the back there off the fastball from Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera's control has been very iffy today, unfortunately. He's been hitting a few batters and then also causing some walks. It's something that you don't really want to do, especially in these early innings.
So now here comes Jimmy Downs. 2 guys on, 2 outs. Rivera out of the stretch. Hanging breaking ball to the right side, out of play.
If there was any pitch to hit, that was a good pitch to hit right there. A hanging breaking ball, your eyes just get really wide there, and then you just swing it away. Of course, it's a 0-0 count. Downs, of course, having that home run derby last night.
Finishing a tie for second with Luke Yelich of the Cubs. He hit 2 home runs in the derby, 1 in the first round to get himself to the final, and then 1 in the final round to force the tiebreak. No balls and a strike. Pitch. Line, and that's dropped in front of the shortstop. Rodriguez out there at second. Heads up play there. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to catch or not, so he let it drop in front of him, and they get the force out to end the frame. But the White Sox Nike RBI side take the 3-2 lead. Cubs to the bat for the second time today when you come back. We've reached the bottom of inning number 2. White Sox Nike RBI on top 3-2. Captain Malater here with James Winken from Curtis Granderson Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. Day 1 of pool play here for the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament as John Piper comes on up here to hit for the first time. He's playing first base today for the Cubbies. Now the lineup, here comes Sammy Castillo. That's grounded to the right side. Downs the first baseman with plenty of time for out number 1.
A lot of ground balls to that right side of the field that we've seen by the Cubs. Thankfully, they were able to score 2 in that first inning, but now it comes to trying to go possibly the opposite way, maybe using that left field to some advantage and trying to find some gaps in the field, of course.
Here's one of the leaders of this team, Elias Diaz. He's their catcher and a vocal leader. His teammates adore him as that one's lining to right center and down in front of Thomas for a base hit. A wide turnaround first, but a nice job there by Heidelberg backing up the play, and it holds Diaz to a long single.
And Diaz able to make really great contact off of that one right there. He's been having an amazing day at the plate. One thrown out already, and his pop time just is always so great. And then just right there, able to get a single off of that.
They'll get the courtesy runner in for him right now. So Jaden Rodriguez, the shortstop, will come on up. Rodriguez trying to help the Cubs knot it up. These two teams played 2 really close games in last year's tournament. Squares and pulls it back for a ball. On a fastball in tight. Nice job there by Thigpen to come in and crash. And that's the other thing about we see with all these teams, though. They're all so fundamentally sound.
Yeah, very fundamentally sound. They play a lot of fundamental baseball. I mean, they're smart on the base paths, smart hitting-wise, and just pitching-wise, you're always just trying to find that zone.
And that's what a lot of these coaches talk about. They say, look, we're sure of ourselves defensively, and we just have to continue to play fundamentally sound baseball. The difference throughout the tournament, pretty much across the board, when we got a chance to talk to most of these coaches, was pitchers got to throw strikes, and that's what's going to win us ball games in these tournaments, because every team is good defensively, every team can hit. So the difference is pitching.
Yeah, definitely is going to be the difference pitching. Also, making sure that you're eliminating those mental errors from the pitcher, but also just everybody from the defensive side.
Rodriguez works a 4-pitch walk, and now Ellis Alexander will come on up. He represents the number 9 spot.
Now, you know, as the 9 spot, you might think to yourself, man, I'm a little bit down in the slums. Why am I always like down in the 9 spot? But a spot is a spot. Anywhere you're hitting, you're gonna want to swing at the pitch and make contact with that baseball. That's what he's got to just think in his mind. It's like no matter where he's at in that lineup, you just make do of what you got.
This is Alex Alexander. He swung and missed at that one. Jones College Prep product. 0-1. Lays off that one on a slider down and away.
Great eye by Alexander there, evening up the count.
Diaz on second, or his courtesy runner, I should say, and Rodriguez on first. Top of the order on deck for the Cubs. 1-1 home. Tap foul, straight back.
Yeah, there's some good contact right there. Just gives a little bit of a piece of it. Now you just have to level it up, and hopefully you're able to get a bit of a gapper here.
Double played up the middle. The corners are back as well. And time is called by Alexander at the plate.
You know, that's what I love about high school level baseball. You're able to call a lot more times versus like a pitch clock in that college and major league level that you have.
Alexander to the left side. Thigpen steps on the bag, fakes the throw. And so they'll get the lead runner there. There's 2 away as Alexander reaches on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, good decision there. You're able to just get that one out there. It's kind of risky throwing that ball. You could get him out, but at the same time, if it gets thrown away, that causes a lot of trouble.
So top of the order now here for Chicago. the North Siders. And Tyga Deloney singled and scored back in inning number 1. It was on a first pitch fastball as well.
Yeah, and Tyga hopefully making sure that it's another first pitch fastball. But I mean, Castillo, if you're Castillo up on the mound, you're thinking to yourself, maybe you switch it up a little. I mean, it's the second time up for him. Probably thinking a little bit off speed on that first pitch.
Good block there from Castro on a fastball. He did go fastball there, but it was just too low.
Yeah. And that's what you want to do. I mean, even though it's a fastball, you want to make sure that it's kind of out of that zone. Try and see what we're working with the hitter.
Kick in the 1-0. Good eye there, 2-0. Cubs knocking on the doorstep. Sox scored 2 in the top half of this inning to take a 1-run lead. 2-0. Up the middle, it bounces in and out of the middle. Castillo, he recovers and makes a great throw to end the inning. So we've played 2 full here. It's 3-2 White Sox, Nike RBI. Nice job there by Sammy to get out of the jam. We'll go to a quick break here on the Windy City Sports Network 2. We're in the top of the third, 3-2 White Sox, Nike RBI on top, and here's Angel Castro. 5-6-7 due up for the Southsiders here. As the first pitch slider misses down and away from Rivera. Castro struck out swinging, and that was the second out in inning number 1. It was a frame in which the Sox scored 1 run on 2 hits.
Yeah, and as your Castro here, you're kind of just looking for that pitch now.
That is cranked to right field, but it's way foul.
Really good contact. Unfortunately, just pushed all the way on the opposite side, foul. But I mean, he has some really good power there. Castro, he does.
Now the lineup here's the 1-1. Little and tight on the hands, and Rivera falls behind.
And of course, what we saw, I mean, it's kind of like the a bat before. You have him getting a little bit deeper into that count.
3-1 now.
This one, though, very much so in his favor.
Castro about to enter his senior season at De La Salle here in Chicago. 3-1. That one clips him on the elbow, so it's officially a hit by pitch. But either way, it was ball 4, so there's the leadoff base runner there for the White Sox. Second time in the first 3 innings, they don't get the courtesy runner for him.
Yeah, and as this game's kind of going on, Rivera is definitely been struggling with that first batter. You have in your first inning triple given up. The second one, of course, you have that single, and then this one you have a walk. So it's definitely not the way that you want to start, but I mean the game just keeps progressing up and over.
In the air, left side off the bat, a thick pen. Direction, the third baseman makes the catch for out number 1. Good communication there on display from the Cubs. Thank you, RBI team, as Evian Rodriguez comes on up. He led off the last inning with a fly out to left.
Yeah, some really great power there by Rodriguez. Now you're just wanting to make sure that instead of that fly out, it's kind of more so of a liner. Or, hey, you know what? We haven't seen a homer yet. Why not just one right here?
We did not see a home run at Granderson in the pool play games here a year ago. We only saw, well, over the fence home run, I should say. We saw a couple inside the park home runs. But your traditional home run, we did not see that at Granderson last year. We saw 2 of them in the first year here. Both of them were from White Sox Nike RBI players. 1-0. Rodriguez in on the hands, pops it foul behind home.
Yeah, I could have gotten the souvenir there.
Yeah, it was a little bit over us.
Just a little bit over.
And a little bit to the left as well. Thankfully, we're in the shade here.
Yeah,
so.
It was definitely a little bit hotter as the day progresses. Now we're in the shade. You have the sun just rising on up, waking us all up.
We got the aircon going right now here in the Granderson suite. 1-1 runner on the move. Pitches high. Diaz throw down to second base is not in time. Castro's courtesy runner has himself a stolen base.
Courtesy runner there is just a little bit too fast. He's able to get on in there at second.
So 2 balls, 1 strike to Rodriguez. On a beautiful Chicago morning. He lays off that one and it's 3-1.
Now, as your Rodriguez, I mean, 3-1 count, you're going to want to add more to the lead, but hey, it's got to be right there. It's kind of the same thing I've been saying, been preaching. But
that's in there for strike 2.
I mean, if it was that pitch, you're kind of wanting to lay off it, but at the same time, it's one of those tricky situations where it's a 3-1 count. You got to swing at it as well.
Especially with less than 2, but with less than 2 outs though makes it a very interesting decision though as well, because you don't want to be too aggressive and all of a sudden then you could squander an opportunity. And now he works a walk there on 3 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's also what also helps with that saving that baseball is that he's able to work up like pitch count for the Cubs right there.
Yeah, that's the crucial thing, is that pitch counts are tracked here and it affects the rest days. And obviously, the past 2 years for the Cubs and the Sox, they could be a little bit more lenient with the pitch counts because they play Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ireland off the end of the bat to left field. Deloney comes in towards the line and makes the catch for out number 2. That ball looked like it was going to drop in there, but Deloney with a nice late run, and there's 2 gone.
Yeah, Ireland's ball just kind of is up there a little bit too long, has a little bit some hang time, and Deloney is able to make that easy grab right there. Now there's 2 outs in the game.
So now here's Demarion Butler, doubled his last time up. Putting a bow though on our conversation about the pitch counts was, for the Cubs and Sox last year, their pool play games were spread across Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Usually teams in the tournament, the non-Chicago teams the past 2 years have done 2 games Friday, 2 games Saturday. Well, Cubs and Sox have gone 1 game Thursday, 1 game Friday, 2 Saturday. This year, not the case, as Butler laces that one to left center field. That splits the gap. 1 run in to score. Around second on his way for third goes Rodriguez. Demarion Butler, an RBI single, and it's 4-2.
Man, Butler has so much power there. He's able to just get that in the gap, and Sox are able to strike up another one there.
Second hard hit ball for the shortstop for the Sox. And it's a crucial early insurance run here in the 3rd.
Yeah, if you're a Sox player right now, you're just cheering on, but also it's a little early in the game, so you're just wanting to keep on building and building and building. You're kind of like a construction worker. You're on that 9-to-5 job, and you're just taking each block at a time and just trying to make a house out of it. Make sure that you're in that living room and just feeling very comfortable.
All right, we'll get the graphics team working on the house graphic for you for a broadcast later today in the open. All right, this is how you build a house. Base hit after base hit.
Base hit after base hit.
Butler on the move. That one goes behind the batter somehow and doesn't hit him. And He's into second base safely.
To my eye, it looked like it hit him, but I'm not
Unless
too sure if it just ricocheted off of the catcher there. And then
that's what I'm thinking. I think it got
yeah,
Diaz's glove maybe and
may
carried
have
him
just
back.
may have just carried back from Diaz's glove there.
Out of the lineup, here comes the 1-1 downstairs, and Thomas is up 2-1. He's 2 for 2 today. Triple and a 2 RBI single in the second, which gave the Sox the lead back after they took an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and if you're keeping track of that cycle that everybody kind of loves to hear about, I mean, he's a double and a homer away.
In game 1.
In game 1. I know that's very much so a rarity, and it's something that doesn't really happen in baseball, but it's something that you kind of think in the back of your head a lot. Especially with the hardest part of that triple being out of the way.
He got underneath that one and skies it to the left side. Rodriguez drifting out there. Deloney coming in. The left fielder makes the grab, and that will end the inning, but the Sox get a much-needed insurance run. They lead by 2. Cubs to bat when you come back on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Two, 3, 4 for the Cubs here in the last of the third. And I'll start with Matos Jr. First pitch to him. Up and in from Castillo for ball 1. Cubs so far 2 runs on 2 hits. The Nike RBI team Sox so far 4 on 6. That one misses, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, it's kind of a night and day experience that we've seen from the Sox and the Cubs. The Cubs not really hitting the ball as much, but they have been driving up a lot of walks versus the Sox not driving up as many walks, but a lot of hits that they've been coming to see.
And this, even though they haven't played great offensively, if you're Cubs Nike RBI, here's the 3-0. That's downstairs for ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Matos Jr. You're thinking, all right, for 2 innings, just 2 hits as a team, yet they're only down by 2. Sox have stranded 6 base runners so far.
Yeah, it's definitely what you don't want as a Sox player, having a lot of those stranded missed opportunities. Those could end up biting you back in the butt. Versus the Cubs, now it's kind of like, hey, I mean, we're down 2. We can still come back from this. It's not that huge of a deficit, and it's still very early on in this game.
Down and away for a ball to Ike Direction. RBI ground out his last time out at the time that tied the game at 1 aside. Cubs will later go on attack on 1 more to lead 2-1. Since then, the White Sox Nike RBI team has outscored them 2-0 as Direction takes a strike to even out the count.
Yeah, Direction has some really good contact. I mean, as we saw in that first inning there, he's able to hit one on the opposite side.
Runner on the move off the end of the bat. Castillo will tag the runner for out number 1. Up to second. On the play goes Matos.
And again, of course, unfortunate that he is out there, but you advance the runner, and that's what you want to do as a baseball player. That's situational baseball. Now you're able to have your next player up, and hopefully they're able to drive him in and make this an even closer game.
Here's Luke Jolich. He hit 3 home runs in last night's derby across 2 rounds and a tiebreaker. Runner in scoring position. He sees a fastball ride upstairs out of the zone for ball 1. Jolich hard on the ground on the right side. Ireland will flip it to first for out number 2. It will advance the base runner in Matos, however.
And now with Matos on third, all you need is a hit right here. That's all you really need. You have really good situational baseball there. You advance the runner all the way to third. I mean, now it's 2 outs, but a little bit of pressure. But, you know, right here, right now, you're able to just get 1 hit, and it's kind of some breathing room for the Cubs.
So Jaden Rivera comes up. Cubs Nike RBI needs a run right here just to make it within even more shouting distance. They're only down by 2, but with the way the offense has struggled at points here in the early goings of this one, it'll be huge. That one's hard on the ground. Nice play by Ireland on the backhand, and the inning comes to a close. Beautiful play at second base, and they'll strand the runner at third. We've played 3. It's 4-2. White Sox Nike RBI out in front here on the Windy City Sports Network. Top 4, 4-2. White Sox Nike RBI out in front, and a first pitch fastball misses there to Jonah Weathers. He's in left field today. He's reached base safely in both appearances, hit by pitch in the first, single in the second. And he goes up 2-0 here in the 4th.
You know, what I like about this White Sox lineup, especially as an outfielder myself back in my days.
He cranks that one, but it's foul.
But what I like about this lineup is that they have their 1, 2, 3 hitters as their whole outfield.
Yeah, 8, 7, and 9, the positional numbers for the Sox first 3. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Nice job by Rivera. Took something off of that wisely, and the count goes to 2-2. Yeah, the lineup first base side, the pitch. Ooh, that one gets him right on the hands.
Yeah, Rivera there trying to probably jam him, but unfortunately goes a little bit too inside and just hits him right on the hands.
He's reached base safely now in both And 2 of his 3 trips to the base paths have come via hit by pitch. First time he was drilled in the helmet, and now here in the hand.
Yeah, it is, I mean, nothing. I don't think it's intentional off of Rivera whatsoever. It's just that his control has just been very undeniably just all over the place today, and it's unfortunate thing as a pitcher. You don't tend to hit players, but the ball just kind of has a mind of its own sometimes, and that's what can happen as a pitcher. What you want to do though, as you hit another player, you just recollect yourself and take it pitch by pitch, and you're just trying to make sure that that next pitch is right on in there, strike, and you're able to just go off of that and go from a low horse to a high horse.
Coaching umpires out there talking to him, making sure he's okay. Weathers gives the thumbs up saying he can continue, so good sign there. That left hand of his that got drilled is the bottom hand. So the runner on first, then steps Demir Heidelberg. He's in right field for the White Sox Nike RBI team. He attacks the first pitch breaking ball. It's popped into foul territory for Piper near the first base coaching box as he makes the catch for the out.
Almost hits the first base coach there, but Piper is able to just really able to just secure that baseball and be able to get that first out.
Here's Jimmy Downs. Runner fakes the move. That one's lined in the left for a base hit off the bat of Downs. Weathers pumps the brakes at second, so the first 2 guys, or 2 of the first 3, I should say, have reached base here in the White Sox 4th.
That's that good contact that we saw in that home run derby from Downs that we were able to see now here. He's able to get across first base and now put this other player in second base right up there, and now we're able to hopefully get some more insurance runs from the Sox right here.
Angel Castro comes on up. 2 on, only 1 out. Little excuse me swing that's popped foul out of play right side.
Yeah, it's one of those swings where it's like, do I go or do I not? And it's just like, I don't know if I want to make the right move at this time, and then kind of get just caught up in there. There's some in the MLB that you see that come out to hits.
See it a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of them where it's one of those where it's like, I didn't know if he wanted to really swing on that or not. I think
cut there, delayed steal for third, tag, and he dropped the ball. Direction couldn't find it. Weathers coming to the plate. He slides in safely, and it's 5-2.
Weathers a great steal there and able to just thankfully have that ball pop out of the glove, and now he's able to just score.
Downs went to second on the play as well.
But putting a bow on that conversation about earlier about those check swings, one that I saw kind of recently, it was one by Benintendi from the White Sox. He had one against the Yankees. This was a bit of an older game, kind of in the May to June
Earlier part of the
slot.
season,
He had one where I was like, I don't know if he really meant to swing or what, but I mean, hey, he got on base, and I think he actually had an RBI that game as well from that hit.
Just off the play on a fastball, and it's 2-2 to Castro. Downs on second, 5-2 as the Sox just added on another run here. These are 7-inning games or a 2-hour time limit. We have just passed the 1-hour threshold here. And there's strike 3 swinging there of Castro. He struck out for the second time today. And there's out number 2.
Yeah, and if you're Castro in the box, you're kind of thinking to yourself, man, I got 2 on me already. What do I have to do to change up my approach? Do I have to be a little less aggressive? Do I have to look for more balls? Or what exactly am I looking for in that aspect? And that's just a conversation that he has to have with himself and with his coaching staff. It's also just one game. There's so many in this tournament, but you have two 2 strikeouts on you already.
Thigpen loops that one to left field for a base hit. Downs on his horse around third. Deloney's throw to the plate is cut off, and it's 6-2. Thigpen gets his first hit of the tournament, and it's an RBI single.
Well, amazing contact by Thigpen there. He's able to just drive one out into left field, and Downs just on his horse, just running and running and running. He gets all the way home.
So the Cubs' Nike RBI infield will come together. Sox adding on. This is their largest lead of the game, 4 runs.
And it feels that Sox are kind of being promoted out there by State Farm, the way that they're having so many insurance runs now.
It's good. That was really, really good. We got houses, we got State Farm.
Yeah, I'm just just building out the whole industrial plants out here. Just all manufacturing and everything.
Here's Rodriguez. Strike one. Like a good neighbor, James Winken is there. With 2 out here in the 4th.
You know, it'd be funny if he was able to hit a double and then just does a good old discount double check. A fun old Aaron Rodgers there.
Well, we'll get them all here over the course of these next 3 days. I just guarantee we'll have another one. 0-2 the count right now to Rodriguez, who walked his last time up, 0 for 1 officially.
Yeah, and if you're Rodriguez, of course you have that 1 walk, but you're kind of looking for something to be more aggressive as this umps box widens as well.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 on a curveball, and that will end the inning. But the White Sox Nike RBI side tack on 2 more in the frame. Good lead for them. It's up to 4. 6-2, last of the 4th when we come back. We've reached the bottom of the 4th here on the Windy City Sports Network 2. 6-2 is the score in favor of Chicago White Sox Nike RBI. John Piper is the hitter. The first baseman grounded out to his defensive counterpart in Downs his last time up. And he lays off a fastball after he squared around on it for ball 1. Day 1 of pool play here, day 2 overall, the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament here in Chicago, Illinois. We welcome you to Les Miller Field here at Curtis Granderson Stadium on the campus of the University of Illinois, Chicago. Beautiful ballpark, beautiful backdrop as well, and a gorgeous 72-degree Friday morning in the city.
You know, what's crazy to me is that it's only 72 degrees in the middle of July. You would think that it is piping hot right now, but I mean, hey, the weather, there is no complaints whatsoever right now.
2-2 the count. Yeah, I'm sure these players aren't complaining as well with the field turf. Last year, temperatures were touching the upper 80s during the Friday and Saturday days of pool play. You add the turf to that factor, you're talking about the real feel on there is about upper 90s as Piper flies that one in a short right center. Thomas, the center fielder, charges and makes the catch for the first out of the frame.
Yeah, Piper able to make some good contact there. Unfortunately, ball just travels on up, and it's a bit of a floater for a center fielder just to grab there.
So Elias Diaz will come on up. 1 for 1. He singled his last time up, but was recorded out on a part of a fielder's choice hit by the number 9 hole hitter, Alexander. Diaz, the vocal leaders of this team, they talk about how much he loves his teammates and how much of a leader he is, because all he does is supports and encourages his teammates. He's not a leader who tears people down. He builds them up, they say, as he fouls that one off and the count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, as Diaz being the catcher as well, you always have to be that heart of the team. The pitcher and catcher are always the soul and the mind of that whole organization that you have. And as a leader, you're always trying to build up that infield.
And he's 2 for 2 in this one with a solid base hit through the 5-6 hole. And let's see if that starts something here for the Cubbies. Down by 4 here as we enter the later innings of this ball game.
Diaz, some amazing contact there again. It's basically the same spot. I mean, it just rolls on through that gap between the third baseman and the shortstop right there, and he's able to just get on base. A very smooth swing collected from Diaz.
Jaden Rodriguez worked a walk his last time up. Cubs were threatening in the second when they went down 3-2. They saw a 1-out single and a 1-out walk from Diaz and Rodriguez as he pops this one up right side. Drifting out there is Downs. Does he have enough room? He does not. It's a foul ball.
That's what I like about Downs, is a great hustle play, even though it's definitely all the way out in the foul territory. He just keeps gliding out and trying to see if he has even a little bit of a chance there.
Castillo up in the count with 2 strikes. He fouls it off straight back.
Yeah, Castro was trying to just possibly secure that baseball as it gets fouled back.
Up the middle and through for a base hit off the bat of Jaden Rodriguez. Back-to-back 1-out singles for the Cubbies. And now Alex Alexander comes up. Very similar, the exact same situation actually. First batter was out in the second. And Diaz and Rodriguez both reach base. And now Alex Alexander has a chance to come on up here.
Well, Kevin, I would have to ask you the question, do you believe in deja vu?
I think I do right now, yes.
But this whole situation de-escalated for the Cubs within that other inning, but hopefully we're able to get another switch in this picture.
First pitch is popped up, right side. Making the catch is Downs for out number 2. That's a big second out there for the Sox.
Some good can of corn for Downs munch on. You know, Downs, I'm not sure what his favorite snack is. I'm pretty sure he said that it was all fruit. I could be totally mistaken though. But comes a question, if it's all fruit, which one is really your favorite though?
What about you? What's your favorite fruit?
I mean, I'm more of a citrusy guy. I kind of like that good old pineapple.
Foul ball from Deloney.
But you can't go wrong with some pineapple. Also watermelon. Watermelon is just it's literally just water, but it's also just super filling and super healthy for you as well.
Swing and a miss on a slider, 0-2. Yeah, Jimmy Downs said his favorite game day snack is gummy bears.
Huh.
Fruit flavored.
Fruit flavored.
Line back up the middle. Diving and unable to make the catch is Thomas, and this is going to roll all the way to the base of the wall. Diaz is in. Rodriguez right behind him. Deloney on his way for third. They'll hold him there. It's a 2 RBI triple. And just like that, the Cubbies are back within 2.
Yeah, Deloney is able to make some great contact with that one. He's able to go up all the way to third there. There was a little bit of a struggle there in center field as Thomas just wasn't able to secure that ground ball. It looked like everybody could be safe, and there could have been just ducks on the pond, but it just kept rolling all the way all to the end of the outfield.
And they'll call for a meeting of the minds out there. We saw that happen last year where a ball was hit to right field and the right fielder for Kansas City dove and he missed it, and it rolled all the way to the right field corner, leading to an inside the park home run for Cincinnati. That right there, I mean, it's 401 out there to straightaway center field. I mean, luckily Heidelberg did a good job backing up. Took him a while to get there, but he did back it up, and had he not, I'd be hard-pressed not to see Deloney trying to take home there.
Yeah, it's one of those situations as a player. Of course, Deloney is trusting his coach, his third base coach there, and as he puts up the stop sign, he stops at third. But of course, this game it was 6-2. Now it's 6-4. You want to kind of just make sure you have that situational baseball and aren't thrown out, being that third out. So you just hold up at third, but with our right fielder over there backing it up, he was able to get the ball really in quickly. So I feel like if he did go for home, he probably was going to be thrown out.
Matos quickly in an 0-2 hole. Deloney on third. Mike Direction on deck. Cubs Nike RBI trying to expand, or cut the deficit, I should say. The 0-2. Downstairs, 1-2. Try to go fastball low. Climb the ladder downstairs rather than upstairs. Called, strike three. He freezes him with a fastball on the outside corner, and that will end the inning. But Cubs Nike RBI grab two back, and we'll go to the fifth. 6-4 is the score on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Six 4 the score, top of the fifth inning. Captain Malater, James Winkin with you here. First of four on the day here on the Windy City Sports Network 2. As Rivera ready to go back to work for inning number 5 to face Joey Ireland, who takes that one for a ball. Ireland worked a walk, scored in the second, flew out hard to left in the third. In that walk, though, he nearly sent one out of the ballpark. Out in front of a slow curve, 1-1.
Big swing by Ireland there. You know, he's able to just, Rivera's able to just use that off speed to his advantage, and it's been working for him. Really good advantage. His fastball, though, has just been kind of just hittable by many players today.
There's the fastball just above the letters. 2 balls and 1 strike. 8-9 at the top of the order here for White Sox. Thank you, RBI, in the visitors' half of the fifth. On the ground, past the diving direction and down the left field line for a base hit. Ireland on his way for second. As Deloney cuts it off down the foul line, it's a leadoff double for the Sac second baseman.
You know, with the last name of Ireland, you would think that he would do more of a Irish jig celebration at second base there. Does a little bit of a celebration, but very much so humble in there.
Here's Demarion Butler, singled on a run his last time up. 2 for 2 overall on a good tournament debut for him.
Yeah, have yourself a day, Butler.
Doubled as well in the second. And he's scoring a bunt as Rivera will step off.
The Sox are just toying with Rivera there, as you see Ireland just kind of shifting back and forth to second, and then Butler using his motion to signal a bunt.
He gets the bunt down. It's up along the third base line, and Rivera touches it in foul ground for strike one.
And that's what you want to do with that bunt. I mean, it's just on the line, just wishes past the left field line just a little bit. I mean, just blow it back. But of course, you want to make sure that it's fair just on that line, and it's very difficult to do.
Time is called, and here comes Kevin Garcia, the manager for the senior baseball Cubs Nike RBI team.
And, you know, you would kind of signal. I mean, Rivera's been pitching for a little bit. I'm not too sure on what his pitch count is, of course, but you might think that his day might be over with it being the top of the fifth right now. And it being more so of a closer game at 6-4. But we'll see what the Cubs RBI coach has in mind here.
And we'll dismiss the meeting. So now with the runner on second base, Butler behind 0-1 after the foul bunt attempt. And still no one out in the inning. White Sox Nike RBI have had the leadoff man reach base in 4 of the first 5 frames of play so far today.
Yeah, and as a coach of the Cubs RBI, that's something that you don't really want out of your pitching staff. You don't want the first guy to lead off and have them get on first base immediately, because then that kind of puts you in a rut first thing.
0-1, pulls it back. Diaz thought about a snap throw back to second base, but shows otherwise. It's 1-1 here.
And again, for you guys tuning in, just to let you know that Butler, he has some amazing speed.
He's showcased it already. Strike 2, pulled it back on a fastball, but spot was there. And what's funny about this White Sox team from a year ago, and the manager of community baseball programs, Troy Williams, we asked him about going to Florida last year as Butler skies that one. Short left center, Rodriguez drifting back. Deloney comes in, and he stumbles, but he makes the catch shoulder high for out number 1. As Butler is retired, and the top of the order will come back up for the 4th go-around here in this ball game. And when talking about the team's trip to the World Series last year, the senior team's trip, because they lost in the championship game to Cincinnati, a team that now got moved to the East Regional. That's next weekend in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And Williams was open and honest with us, and he told us that he told the guys that they didn't deserve to go last year, and that, you know, it's very bittersweet because they didn't win the region. They got in off the technicality of the way the format worked last year. Now 8 teams, believe it's going to be 1 per region this year, going to Florida for the RBI World Series. And so he talked about how a lot of guys took the loss last year personally and have used it as motivation for this year. That's a foul ball down the left field line. And when you look at the overall numbers from their performance in last year's tournament, they made the final with a negative run differential. They finished the tournament with a -3 run differential. They entered the regional final with a -1.
Yeah, that's something that you don't think of many teams usually going into a regional final with a negative run differential. That's something that the White Sox RBI team is definitely looking to clean up, as they're in the positives right now and look to build off of that and push themselves to a winning season. And having themselves get back into that final, but this time with a positive run differential. Speaking on the manager, of course, you want to talk about.
This is in the air to center field. Matos Jr. underneath it, makes the catch. Ireland tags and throws on the brakes. Great throw there from center field. And there's 2 gone.
But coming back to that, just to reiterate, but coming back to the manager and how he was talking about how the White Sox RBI team didn't really deserve it. I mean, he's right. I mean, if you're talking about a team that had that negative run differential, you don't. It's very much an oddity that you see that team going all the way to that final. Of course, they lost to Cincinnati, but this year you just build off of it. It's a lot of looking for that determination, what's going to be their drive, and their drive was showing them that they didn't deserve to be there last year. So
Jonah Weathers takes that one down and away. And you look at the roster composition for this team. I mean, this is a very similar roster to the one they rolled out last year. It's an even similar roster to their junior team who made the RBI World Series 2 years ago. And there's some pieces on this team that were on that senior team when they won it all back in the summer of 2022 down in Florida. Weathers out in front of it, a fastball, and he taps it foul to the left side. And the count evens out at 1-1.
Yeah, and you have the same lineup. You have your up years, your down years. That's the thing. That's the beauty of baseball. Nobody knows what it's gonna actually be in the outcome. I mean, if you look at, especially within the MLB, you have the Texas Rangers who had an amazing year, and now they have basically the same lineup still, but they've been having a little bit of a down year this past summer and past season in general.
Talks of possibly them being sellers of the deadline in a couple of weeks. Foul ball, left side, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Weathers with 2 away. And for those who have been watching our tournament coverage the last couple of years, I mean, there's a lot of familiar names: Kamari Thomas, Demarion Butler, Jonah Weathers, not pitching in this game, but the guy on the bench they have, Kavari Thunderbird, as well. You know, one of the top pitchers in the city of Chicago. This is a roster with a lot of very talented pieces, and they expect to do some damage in this tournament this weekend. 2-2. Weathers gets underneath this one and skies it to short center. Second baseman Yelich out there to make the play, and that will retire the side. First time today the Sox have been held scoreless in an inning. Cubs within 2, trying to come back here on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Inside Curtis Granderson Stadium, 6-4 White Sox, Nike RBI out in front with Ike Direction stepping in. 3-4-5 due up for Chicago in the last of the 5th. Castillo's first offering is lined back up the middle. Thomas charges in and makes the catch on the run for out number 1. So Luke Jolich will come on up now with 1 gone and no one aboard. They're only down 2. It's still a very winnable ball game for this Cubs Nike RBI team.
Yeah, as time goes to ticking, you kind of just being a little bit more aggressive, but also, again, that situational baseball comes into hand. And with your heart of the lineup now up, you just trying to get 1 or 2 on base and just building off of that.
1-0. Jolich a drive in the air to deep right center field. Heidelberg. 2 gone.
That's back-to-back that have just been completely flyouts out there. I mean, they're putting on some really good contact and driving the ball out, but the gloves are just talking back and being that glue to that baseball.
So with 2 gone, here's Jaden Rivera, the pitcher. Some light activity in the Cubs Nike RBI bullpen out there in left field. We'll see what Rivera's status is for the 6th inning of play. Squares the bunt, drops it foul off of home.
Yeah, Rivera trying to use some of that quickness. You know, with the Cubs, 2 outs, you have to make sure that at least 1 gets on base in this inning. As you're going to be the bottom of the 5th, you only have 2 more innings to work with after that.
0-1 off the plate. Nicknamed Rico, Jaden Rivera is 0 for 2 today. Fly out to center, ground out to second. Both of them were inning enders. He grounds this one weakly to short. Butler charges, throw on the run, not in time. As Rivera legs out an infield single with 2 gone.
Rivera able to showcase his speed there, able just get on the first base, and now we're able to just build off of that. You had your 2 and 3 guys unfortunately hit flyouts, and then you have your 4th guy up at first. You get your big guy up, and probably doing some power, hopefully.
John Piper's 0 for 2. Fooled there by a good breaking ball from Castillo.
Yeah,
man.
Piper just whips on that one.
Castillo really pulled the string on that one. And he goes back with a fastball, a dirty sequence there, and 1-1. That's a sequence that you're a hitter, you're just going, man, that's not fair.
No, it really is, and especially when you have a lefty on righty situation. You have a little bit of a disadvantage already, and then you just pulling that string that Castillo does.
That one gets him on the right elbow, and it's a hit by pitch. So 2 on with 2 away here for Cubs Nike RBI. That is going to call a mound meeting there for the Shy Sox.
Yeah, and if you're the coach of the White Sox right now, you're just talking with Castillo, just being like, hey, we got 2 outs. All you need to do is just get 1 more here. I mean, it's pretty easier said than done, of course, but it's one of those situations where you just have to calm the nerves, make sure that your pitcher is just intact, and he's able to just get this next batter out. Make sure that there's not such thing as a 2-out rally that's coming up.
So with 2 gone now, Elias Diaz steps on up. He has 2 hits today. Both of them were hard hit line drives. He's the catcher. We talked earlier about how much this team views him as a leader, and how he's going to be a great leader in the future as well in whatever career he pursues, if it's baseball or beyond the game of baseball. That one's in the dirt, ball 1. Believe it or not, as much as it doesn't feel like it, the Cubs have the tying run on base right now.
Yeah, you got the tying run on base, and I mean, if you're a coach of the White Sox, you're kind of thinking, hey, this guy's hit it in that gap 2 times in a row, though.
He skies under that one to right field. Heidelberg charging, makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Cubs, Nike RBI put the tying runs on base, but weren't able to drive them in. We go to the 6th, 6-4. White Sox, Nike RBI out in front. Top of the 6th, and Cubs Nike RBI go to the bullpen first. They'll call on Peter Hernandez to come in relief work here. The recent graduate of New Trier High School. Right-handed thrower, right-handed hitter. And he'll face 3-4-5 for the White Sox as Heidelberg demolishes that one to deep center field. However, it's 401 feet to the wall out there, so Matos is able to easily track it down for the first out.
Yeah, some really great contact there by Heidelberg, but unfortunately that dimensions of that backdrop of the wall, 401, you say. It's way out there. I mean,
you need a tank to get out to center field here.
Yeah, definitely a lot of weights that you need to be lifting every single day. Definitely eating that protein as well.
Was prime James Winken at Taft High School, was he getting one out to center field here at Granderson?
Oh no, he was definitely not.
Jimmy Downs all over the glove of the Rodriguez leap. And that's a base hit. He's got 3 of them here in this contest. He was crushing him last night in the Derby, and he's got 3 good hits today here in Game 1 of pool play.
Great effort by Rodriguez. It just nicks the glove, and he's not able to just get it on inside of his glove, and Downs is able to trickle on by, get his 3rd base hit of the day.
So Angel Castro comes on up. 2 strikeouts, sandwich a hit by pitch, and a run scored back in inning number 3. Hit hard on the ground is short. Rodriguez goes to Yelich for 1 at second. On to first. They turn 2. 6-4-3 inning ender for Cubs Nike RBI. And that'll give them some life and momentum as they head back to the dugout, only down by 2. Last of the 6th. Up next on the Windy City Sports Network. Last of the 6th. And Jaden Rodriguez will take strike 1. Rodriguez started a very nice 6-4-3 inning double play in the top half of this frame. 0-1. Little excuse me swing up along the first base line. Castillo pounces on it and makes the play for out number 1.
Castillo hustling a bit, but very nonchalantly able to just throw it to first and get his first out of this bottom of the 6th.
So here's Ellis Alexander. Strike 1.
And it's just been a great outing by Castillo. I know, of course, you have those 4 runs on you, but I mean, this guy's just been pounding the zone pitch by pitch.
Foul just off the third. So no balls, 2 strikes quickly. Top of the order on deck for the Northsiders. Down by 2. They're down to their final 5 outs here. Is this, I mean, obviously you'll take both runs now, but it's a situation where if you feel like you can just get one, it feels a lot bigger. Alexander lines that one to center for a base hit. His first hit of the night. And the Cubs have a 1-out base runner.
Yeah, coming back to your question, I think your eyes and just like everything in general just becomes a lot bigger, and when you come to the plate, once you close it down to 1, and everybody's going to be a bit more aggressive. That's the thing that you have to make sure of, though, that you're not too aggressive. It's a game of making sure you know what pitch is your pitch, and not swinging at those pitches that are high and outside, kind of like that one.
That was taken by Deloney. 2 RBI triple his last time up. That made the score 6-4. Runner on the move. Deloney grounds that one to third. That's a foul ball. That would have been a really tough play for Thigpen. However, he's got the arm. Should it have been called fair. Very close, though, play there at third.
Yeah, it's a very close 50-50 ball that the umpire decides to overrule as a foul ball. Deloney, though, of course, he has that strength of an arm. Wish we got to see that play.
Deloney's speed with that against that arm, that would have been fun. 1-1. Below the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike at the count. Deloney also singled and scored a run in the first.
Yeah, Deloney's just been having a day. His RBIs just bouncing up.
Popped up out of play behind home.
And he's making Castillo just pitch to him.
Two. On the ground, left side, diving stop by Butler, and he has got no play. Great effort there at short. He prevented that ball from going to left field and likely prevented Alexander from taking third on the play. But all in all, it's still a single there for Deloney, his 3rd hit of the ball game as well.
Yeah, Deloney's just having a really great day at the plate. Lots of pieces of contact there. He already has so many RBIs, and then on top of that, able to get a single there. Props to Butler, though, able to make that diving play and save him from a single out there.
Flared in the right center field. Heidelberg makes the catch on the run. That ball was dropping quickly, and he sprinted in there from deep right to make a great catch for out number 2.
Amazing hustle play from Heidelberg there. He's able to just go on in, just hustling and bustling, and just make such a great grab there. Saves them out, make sure that the Cubs are down to their last 4 outs now.
Ike Direction comes on a big spot here. Once again, second straight inning that Cubs Nike RBI has the tying run on base. It's Deloney who's the runner on first. Castillo's first offering. A slide step and a slider down and away.
Yeah, the slide step is something that pitchers tend to use a lot more of to try and mess up the batter's count and just their overall rhythm.
Heard also it has a lot to do with runners as well.
Yeah, definitely a lot to do with runners. You make sure that you want to make sure that the Cubs RBI team isn't stealing on Castillo at any moment in time.
2-1 now after Direction took the fastball on the outside corner from Castillo. Working to try to get through 6 strong innings here. Direction pounds that one on the ground to the left side. Butler, long throw to first, got him! Great play at short by Demarion Butler. Shows off the cannon and ends the inning for White Sox Nike RBI. They still lead by 2. Final inning of play right after this. Final inning of play here in Game 1 from Curtis Granderson Stadium. Philip Thigpen to bat here against Hernandez. White Sox Nike RBI out in front 6-4 over Cubs Nike RBI. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Sox team that's trying to get out in front here. It's a 1-0 in pool play. They play later on this morning over at St. Ignatius, where they'll take on Milwaukee in Milwaukee's return to the tournament. First time since 2018. Meanwhile, the Cubbies are off until later this afternoon. They'll get the Twins across the street at Ignatius as Thigpen will a hard hit ground ball through the left side for a leadoff base hit here in the 7th. He's got 2 hits. He's reached base 3 times if you go back to include that walk in the first.
Yeah, definitely some great pieces of contact there by Thigpen, and then also he's able to just have such a great eye for the ball, and just that walk that he had in that first, just able to drive in that 1 run that they had in that inning. And they've been having such a great job at hitting today. I mean, since the 4th inning, of course, now you have that dry spell from the 5th and 6th, but a run or 2 each inning from the 1st through the 4th.
Rodriguez takes strike 1, doesn't like the call, so he steps on out. Rodriguez, old school, he's got the no batting gloves look.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that look in so many times. It's been a very while. I forget the specific player. He played for Houston. He was a catcher.
Evan Gaddis.
Evan Gaddis, yes.
Yes.
He had,
big beard, lumberjack beard.
It's an amazing story. I remember because he didn't play baseball for a little while. He was actually a janitor.
Snap bro, safe there. Nice job by Thigpen getting back in there. Great move by Hernandez though.
But he was like a janitor and struggling, trying to figure out what he was doing baseball wise. But I mean, that story all in general, being a part of that Houston team, of course, I think they won it all as well. It just shows the duality of life in general.
Called a couple college games this year featuring USC. Here's the 2-1. Fouled off by Rodriguez, 2-2. And every player has to go high socks. It's their coach's policy. And then there's a couple of them that go no batting gloves. So you're looking at the high socks, no batting gloves. And they wear white pinstripes at home too. That is like the ultimate classic throwback baseball look. Another throw and safe there at first is Thigpen.
Yeah, if you're a classic, you're definitely looking at USC as your college team to go then with those uniforms in hand.
Those uniforms, most national championships, the very program in the sport of college baseball. They're off to the Big Ten. Rodriguez stays alive. That was a very close pitch to take.
Yeah, very close pitch. The umpire just doesn't call it there, and now he's at count full.
3 balls, 2 strikes, no one out. Pitch home. That one hits him, and it's another base runner for the White Sox Nike RBI here in the 7th.
Yeah, and if you're the Cubs RBI right now, I mean, you're already down by 2. You're trying to just hold them off. There's 0 outs right now. It's kind of like everything, like the baseball covers are just coming on off, and everything is kind of flowing off of that whole baseball. The strings are just starting to just become looser and looser. And that's something that you don't want to have. Maybe it's time for a coaches meeting as of now. But we'll see how this unfolds in this top half of the 7th.
Stepping off there is Hernandez. Joey Ireland, the hitter, he doubled his last time up and was stranded there. That was back in inning number 5.
Yeah, Ireland had a really good piece of contact there. Hopefully he's able to just replicate what he did. Maybe he goes even further out.
Squares again. Nearly hits him as he gets it down, but it's foul off of third, excuse me.
That's one of those plays that Ireland is just kind of using the bat as protection, making sure that it just doesn't hit him straight in the face. It's one of those where you're just like, oh, I gotta save myself right now.
Crashing again. And he bunts it foul for strike 2. So now Ireland's strategy completely changes because you can't risk that bunt foul. Thigpen on second, Rodriguez on first. 0-2. Line drive left field. Hangs up there for Deloney, who's able to make the catch for at 1.
Yeah, these balls, these tournament, I mean, lots of great contact both ways. It's just a lot of hang time that we've been seeing within this first game.
No wind, pretty much.
Humidity doesn't play a factor also, so it's not much of the ball traveling as far out. What has been helping with the White Sox in general, though, is those line drives.
And a man who has a couple of those is the man at the dish, Damarion Butler. Lays off an inside corner fastball. Butler with a double and a run scored in the second. RBI single in the third.
That's a pitch a hitter sees, and as a hitter myself, it's called a "excuse me, I'll see you later" pitch. As he just
Butler, another line drive. That's down into left field for a base hit. Thigpen held it at third, and they're loaded here with only 1 out for the top of the order, and Kamari Thomas.
have yourself a day, Butler. He's just been a bulldog out there, kind of call back to the university of course, but man, he's just been hitting the baseball left and right. I mean, so many base hits from this kid.
So now the top of the order stands up. Kevin Garcia goes out there to the bump for the Cubs Nike RBI team, down by 2. Big threat here. White Sox can bust this game open right here in the top of the 7th inning. They're up by 2 right now. They haven't scored a run since the 4th inning, but an opportunity to pretty much secure an opening game victory in the tournament is really one swing away.
Yeah, one swing away. I mean, you have wiggle room to work with those 2 outs. The one thing you need to make sure of is that this ball is traveling as a line drive or out in the outfield as much as possible to get at least 1 run in. So what you don't want to do is have that ball on the ground and roll up into a double play, or of course that strikeout. 2 strikeouts in a row would be very just something that the White Sox RBI team would not want to see. You want to make sure those floodgates just start flooding on open.
Thomas started out 2 for 2, but since then is 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts. Thigpen on third, Rodriguez on second, Butler on first. Hernandez out of the stretch, fires. Down and away for ball 1 from the left-handed hitting center fielder from Chicago. Thomas drills that one deep right field. Alexander comes on and makes the catch. Tagging from third is Thigpen. The throw to the plate, not in time. A big sacrifice fly for Kamari Thomas. Makes it 7-4, White Sox Nike RBI.
That's a great throw over there in the right field area. Fortunately, the ball just doesn't get down as quickly in time, and the Sox are able to just tack on another run there.
The other 2 runners in Rodriguez and Butler also tagged and advanced on the last play. So 2 in scoring position here for Jonah Weathers. He's reached base in 3 of his 4 plate appearances, and he grounds that one hard but foul off of third.
Yeah, Weather's looking to see if he can go 4 for 5 today. That would be an amazing outing from him in the first game, just building off of that confidence, you know, especially making sure that these two runners in scoring position are able to cross the plate, bringing open that game for the White Sox and making sure that they're on that high horse to just start off this early morning.
Weathers sees a 1-1 count. 2 gone here in the frame. The lead is 3. 1-2. Big fastball and big call there.
It's a good pitch on that outside corner.
Hernandez is able to limit this to 1. That'd be huge for Chicago Cubs Nike RBI. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It caroms away from Diaz. He collects, he throws, and he fires it to end the inning. So Weathers goes down on strikes. Sox load the bases. They do get a run. That's all they're able to get. They're 3 outs away from an opening game victory here in the tournament. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th on the Windy City Sports Network 2. Bottom 7, last chance here for Cubs Nike RBI, and they'll start with their cleanup man, Luke Yelich. Big insurance run the Sox were able to capture in the top half of the last inning. On that sacrifice fly from Kamari Thomas to push the lead up to 3. 1-0 home. Yelich lays off a fastball, 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, Yelich is just looking to have some good piece of contact here. I mean, he's having some really good at-bats recently, and then also able to just keep his eye on the ball.
Strike 1 on the outside corner. Another fastball there from Castillo, trying to finish off and complete the game here for this team.
You would think about here, though, that he would get a little aggressive and start swinging, but Castillo is kind of this time around with Yelich, it's been a little bit all over the place, so he's just taking his time, especially as the Cubs are down by 3.
Flowing in the air to right field, but way foul, headed towards the waiting area for the players of the next game, which is Gary and Kansas City. Gary is the home team in their first ever RBI regional game. I'll have that for you. Scheduled start 11:30. We'll probably likely push that back a little bit as this game is nearing the time limit of 2 hours on the nose, but they give a half hour in between games from the start of the next game from the end of the last game. So 3-2 is the count. Yelich awaiting. Castillo out of the lineup, fires. Popped him up. Butler and Ireland coming together. The shortstop, Butler, with the catch for out number 1.
Some great communication there by Butler and Ireland, the two centerpieces in that field, and they're able to just Butler's able to just grab that ball for an easy out, number 1.
So here's Jaden Rivera, singled us last time up. Overall, he's 1 for 3. He fouls it off himself for strike number 1. Cubs Nike RBI back in action later today, 2 p.m. They'll play the Twins Nike RBI team across the street at St. Ignatius. That game will not be aired here on the Windy City Sports Network. Next Cubs game here will be tomorrow morning on the Windy City Sports Network when they take on the I-94 rival in Milwaukee.
Yeah, that should be a fun one to watch, especially as you were saying, Kevin, with Milwaukee coming back for this tournament.
On the ground at third, thick pin charges, shows off the arm. And let's see what the call is going to be here. The umpires will come together. Downs had the ball, and then as the runner passed him, the ball came out of his mitt at first. So let's see, will they call it on the transfer, or will they say it was part of the play and he dropped it, which would, I believe, mean that Rivera would be safe in this case. He's standing there at first. Right now, they're going to call him safe. So an error there on the Sox. First one of the game, and now Piper comes up. Actually, he will be pinch hit for here. First pitch, strike 1. In the dirt for a ball. One ball, one strike, runner on first, one out. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Nathaniel LeBron, the pinch hitter. LeBron fouls that one off.
LeBron with his back against the wall a little bit in this count. He's just looking to make some contact, make sure that it's not a double play here. But, I mean, the Cubs are down to their last 2 outs. Right now, I'm thinking you got to just be smart and know which pitch to take, which pitch to hit. I mean, that's better said than done, of course.
Flares that one, short left center. Butler drifts out the shortstop. Has it, and there's 2 away. Sox an out away from a victory here in game 1 of the tournament.
As that one just bloops on up. It was a good fight, though, by LeBron, I will say. With him being that as his first at-bat, he was able to just try and figure out which pitches to take, which pitches to kind of go up against as that count just, again, just going back against his wall.
So that'll be the day for Sammy Castillo. What a performance for him. 6 2/3. The result holds. He's the winning pitcher of record. Gets some handshakes and high fives from the members of the first base dugout. Pitching change here for White Sox Nike RBI. We'll take a break here on the Windy City Sports Network 2. 2 outs. The first baseman, Jimmy Downs, comes into pitch here, trying to secure the game for White Sox Nike RBI. This is a save situation for Downs, as Elias Diaz steps in.
Yeah, safe situation for Downs here. You want to make sure, of course, it's the last out that you got to get. Him coming off just an amazing day hitting.
Diaz cuts and misses, 0-2.
He's going to want to make sure that dual presence is in. Just channel in that inner Shohei Ohtani.
Rodriguez, by the way, designated hitter, will play his position and go play first base. 0-2, two-way the pitch. Down and away, it caroms from the catcher. All the way to the backstop it goes, and to second base goes Rivera on the wild pitch.
There was some heads-up base running there as the pitch just goes bouncing and ricocheting all over the place.
So ball and 2 strikes, runner in scoring position now. On the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Downs slams the door shut. White Sox Nike RBI win this one 7-4 and take the opening game of the Central Regional Tournament. They're 1-0.
Yeah, what an amazing performance by the White Sox here. They're able to just come off with the doors and just swing their bats away as much as possible. And I mean, since that 4th inning, they were able to just collect so many more runs, and then in that 7th able to make sure of a key insurance run that they had. Pitching by Castillo as well, just on point. Cubs are going to have to think to themselves and try and get more aggressive with the bats, figure it out in that second game that they have against the Twins. Pitching wise, they had a great outing, but they were just a little bit too short as the moments came.
So that's going to do it for us here for game 1. Join us in about half an hour for Kansas City and Gary, the debut for the new team from Northwest Indiana. Will be coming up soon. We'll talk to you then. For James Lincoln, I'm Kevin Malater. We thank you for watching this presentation of the 2024 MLB Nike RBI Central Regional Tournament.